What
are
if
the
it?
top 5 types of guy?
Oh, that's a good question. Five type of guys. Top five. We gotta go. Those weird guys on Twitter that have like a domination fetish and just call you like mistress for no reason. It's like borderline sexual harassment. It's a hilarious. I'm assuming we're going hilarious type of guys here because I don't think I could rank. I don't think I could rank them any other way. Like top five cool in an ironic way type of guys. Like those guys, the nodders, yeah. Okay, four. Is the that guy you knew in high school, um, who like was clearly showing up to parties that like even in high school were like a little bit too young for him, and like you ran into him recently and he wants to add you on Snapchat, so he can quote smoke you out, and he's like 27 and he still has like he still sends people like snap streaks. That's definitely up there. This maybe more than top four, honestly. I'm just kind of thinking of types of funny types of guys as they come. There's no there's no order to these. Though he's sort of a wear my hug at sort of individual. I definitely yeah. Um yeah, that guy's awesome. That guy for me, he used to in high school. Like he was lame, but then he became cool. Like he was accepted into the. It was because they started hanging out with him ironically, and they were like, he's fine actually. Um, but he loved Quagmire. Like he would say like giggity. He was awesome. I think that ruined him though. I think they shouldn't have like let him be popular because then he just became like he was just riding that high. Like he's still riding it. I mean, I don't know. The last time I heard of him was like 3 years ago, so maybe he's grown up now. He was like 23 or 24. Um, but like he's like, oh, I'm fucking a cool high school guy now, and he stayed doing that. Like it didn't end. And it's like that shouldn't have. You shouldn't be gifted into that. That doesn't work. That doesn't. This is a real person. Of course it is. I'm not funny enough to come up with that guy. Sorry. I don't know what you think this is. Who says giggity quagmire? That's where it comes from. Um, I haven't gotten the guy I know in high school horny text. As far as I'm aware, I don't think so. Um, yeah, I don't think so. One of the funny things though is that I am completely unrecognizable. Like there is no possible world in which if you see what I looked like in high school, you would like recognize me on the street. Apparently this is a type of guy. I don't know why this happened, but it's like European social democrat, like bisexual twink who's like kind of Hitler. You know what I mean? Like he's like kind of Hitler. I don't know why. I don't know what they're putting in the water in the EU to produce that sort of guy. No, because they could be. It's not Slavic. It's not necessarily. Maybe it is a Slavic thing. Maybe they're mostly Slavic. Maybe that's the answer. It's the Slavic baby face. That's the. I'm so glad that I um like exited the Slavic male aging cycle at babyface. I saw a photo of my dad from his like university thing, and it was like, oh, is this high school? It's like, no, 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 he's like 23 in this. It's like, okay, Jesus. It's every Slavic male. And then the final stage is Russian gangster, like mobster. It's like your aging is like condensed, you know? I don't know why this is. I couldn't tell you. Um like you have a long time in which you look super young, and then you have, as soon as you start to age, it's like you got to make up for it. You got to age very quickly. Cigarettes? Well, that's not the case with my dad. I don't think he ever smoked like a lot. I'm sure when he's younger, but like not like a. I think that's just how it is. So that's top. That's the third fun guy. What's another guy? Top two guy. I'm trying to think of guys. Um, should I say that one? I can say that. That's not too TMI. Top two funny guy is someone you meet, especially on like a dating app, who says that he's a pleasure dom, um, but then he just has very normal regular sex with you. Is that is that a type of guy, or am I just attracting a certain type of guy? Okay, where it's like just the same amount of sex. It's where it's like they like, if anything, they're coming more than you're coming, which is like not. I think that's false advertising. I don't think that you're a pleasure dom. That's the type of guy, okay? Because it's like the thing about the concept of a pleasure dom is that like that is what every straight guy wants to be. It's always straight. It's never I don't think I've ever seen a bisexual man do this. Um, is that is the image of what they want to be sexually, is like you're dominant and you also please women, right? But then like the ideal there, as opposed to actually living up to it, is a whole other thing. Other, like, maybe not even writing in your profile, because that's more like kink app, but like someone who describes themselves that way sexually. Um, it's funnier in retrospect, where it's like, I don't think that's true of you. I don't think. Why don't you just want to say you have normal sex? Because I don't think. I think. I don't know. Is that too explicit to like the image? If someone advertises themselves as a pleasure dom, the sex that it would imply is not normal sex. Maybe I am wrong about this. I don't know. Can chat tell me? Is like it's not regular, you know, 50-minute, whatever. It's just kind of not forgettable, just fine, Like there's something that both of those words imply, you know? I don't, am I crazy here? I'm saying this like I'm complaining about like a bag of chips I bought at the grocery store that has like too much air in it. It's like I was under the impression that like a bag of chips have chips in them, not air. When I buy the chips, I expect chips. But it's fine. I'm fine. It's fine. I'm laughing. It's Fine's America. It's Fine's America. Guy who advertises kink but isn't. I think that's a classic. How many guys say there's some? I would be surprised. I would be surprised if someone was advertising as a guy was advertising submissive and wasn't. That'd be a funny one to false advertise as. Because I don't think that's getting you much. I wouldn't know. I've never advertised myself as a submissive male on dating apps, but I would assume not. If it's a hetero thing, I was assuming it was a hetero thing. Maybe if it's a gay thing, that makes more sense. Well, I mean, sorry. I just got hit by. I had such a struggle thinking of guys. I've just been like I'm like Paul Atreides in Dune, being hit with the vision, just being hit with so many types of guys in my brain. Like, what? How do I end this? What final type of guy do I go with? Okay, I'm gonna keep going with that. Maybe not. One type of guy that's cool is like Toronto man's, who's like white but calls people Habibi. Like he's picked that up with from his like Lebanese friends or like Egyptian friends. He says Wallahi. I'm not Muslim myself, so I can't really comment on the. But I think it's a funny. I guess this is being influenced by the. That is Paul Atreides. Paul Atreides does kind of have a Toronto man's energy to him. Oh, don't talk about who could save you. Last time they did that, Twitch they got banned. You're right. You're right. I guess that is true. Yeah, but that's. Oh yeah, remember when Biden said "Inshallah" in the debate? Do you remember that? Because that one does seem like a dream. Welcome on Delilah was so funny. That's why he won. It's true. It's true. I'm not lying. It was kind of hard to hear Joe Biden's use of inshallah. The problem with Biden saying inshallah. So I guess they're saying it's not allowed. It's not okay.
Will you tell us how much you paid in federal income taxes?
Like the campaign confirmed this
in 2016 and 2017.
Millions of dollars.
You paid millions of dollars.
Millions of dollars.
So
yes.
not 750.
Millions of dollars, and you'll get to see it. And you'll get to see it. But let me just tell you.
I am gay.
Jenny 12 gauge, thank you. That was that happened. I don't. You lived through it. I don't know why you don't know about it. I remember it. I can't stop remembering it. It's such a funny. I remember it being under its breath. He got interrupted, I think, so it was hard to. No, he used it. It's ironic, but that is like that works though, doesn't it? That is like a word. That is like a. Like if God wills it. Rolling your eyes. Is sort of it's how it works. Am I wrong? My understanding was that was in. I don't know. Maybe you're not allowed to use it ironically. I don't know. I actually didn't. I would assume not. I feel like I've heard Muslims use it ironically. I'm just trying to think of what the take. I want to watch. Why? I want to know why it's problematic.
Will you tell us how much you paid
to the growing list of Islamic phrases that are slowly making their way into
I want
the
to know
mainstream?
why.
But there is one problem.
What's the
But
take?
let me just tell you.
The phrase has pretty much lost its true meaning.
Oh, so this take is it shouldn't be
Inshallah
ironic.
has come to be known as a phrase meaning something that is unlikely to happen in the future, or a nice way of saying no. It's become known as an innocent term to avoid commitment and accountability.
I see, but this is a response to trends within Arab-speaking countries, Arab-speaking cultures, which is you guys got to stop using it ironically. Sorry, that was the type of guy who uses white guy who says inshallah and habibi. Joe Biden announces, oh God.
Donald Trump lost 2 debates to me in 2020. And since then, he hadn't shown up for debate. Now he's acting like he wants to debate
The cuts are so awesome on this. They really did have him in a fucking
me
bunker.
again. Well, make my day, pal. I'll even do it.
He literally can't. He needs that line. He can't do the whole thing.
So let's pick the dates, Donald. I hear you're free on Wednesdays.
He couldn't even. He slurred
I hear you're
the.
free on Wednesdays.
Oh, free on Wednesdays. Man, that was so awesome that everyone was like, "That's fine. I think these things are fine." Other types of guys. Someone who thinks that like women can tell that their energy is different because they haven't jerked off for 3 days, which is like a record for them. That's definitely a type of guy. They're like the pheromones. They can tell. Like it's a power. It's like a semen retention sort of no fap. That's a guy. I think that's definitely a guy. The funnier ancillary type of guy related to that was the post left dude who was like, I got 5,000 followers on Twitter and like women can tell. Like there's an energy. They know, like implying like they're all over me because they don't even know, but they know, like I just carry that. That's a cool type of guy. That was the guy who got posted on Tucker Carlson, didn't he? How common is that guy? The first one, that's pretty common. That's a pretty common type of guy, I think. Like 20-year-old male that like is in that sort of vaguely right-wing comedy, in the pipeline infrastructure. The Joe Rogan-y sort of. And he's not fucking, and he's he's kind of insecure about how much sex he's having. As the vast majority of 20-year-old guys are. Well, it's not intimate. He's trying to jerk off less, but he can't help it. He's losing to jerking off. Which I will say is the older I get is a much funnier concept. I don't think I've ever consciously had to do that though. So maybe that's different for other people. Of that's the thing you lose to and you're like, this is why my life is over. I've only wanted to jerk off. Yeah. Other types of guys. I'm trying to think of types of guys I've seen dating in Vancouver. I haven't thought about the fact that my impressions of dating, especially as a woman, have been so impacted by Vancouver being Vancouver. Because I think it's a weird city, is my impression of how people talk about it. That it's harder to date here. When people ask you what you do, it's what ridiculous exercise, nature sports activities you do. It's not a job thing. It's yeah, I paddleboard and snowboard. Which also, snowboarding, the season's been great. The weather's been great. When I went, I was sick. My girlfriend convinced me to wake up at 6 a.m. to get a super early chair in Whistler, or in Blackcomb, because Whistler wasn't open. And I was still sick and I had a sore throat, and I was fine. Then I went and I was I don't know why I did this. This was a mistake. What's the funniest type of guy? The guy who's a lot more into trans women than he's leading on, who is just kind of pathetic, and that's his whole thing. That's actually a very common type of guy, unfortunately. And you're I feel bad for him. I should date him. But he's so sad. Surely that's not him manipulating me. But I think that's the thing that happens with cisgender women too. I think that's a canon event for women who date men. Maybe for just is oh, but I feel bad for him. I should date him. He's so sad. Surely men cannot cry as a manipulation tactic. Because men can't be vulnerable, they can only be vulnerable around you. And that's powerful. And it's nope, you were the third woman third shoulder he's cried on this month. Don't, non-deodorant guys, I think that's just Europe. Well, I guess that's a type of guy. Where are all these women who fall for pathetic men? That is, yeah. Maybe that's a thing where someone can tell that I have that vibe and they're fucking bingo. Maybe that's what happens. Did you guys know Nietzsche was a semen retention guy? I feel that makes sense with him, right? That he Thought that like not coming makes you more powerful. That tracks, right? I feel like that's a no, not Nietzsche. Yeah. But it's more so that he would nut and he would feel bad about it, probably. He's a vegetarian and Wagner told him to stop. That is funny. That is a funny Nietzsche fact. You know, it's a really funny type of guy. I didn't meet him. Um, on Field, I have my account linked to my girlfriend's, which is such an annoying sentence to say. I understand. I want you to know that I understand how annoying it is. But there's this one guy who matched with both of us, and he made a group chat with all three of us, which I didn't know you could make a group chat on Field. And he was like, "I'm renting a cabin next week. You two lovely ladies, I would love for you to join me." which didn't work, but I respected it immensely. Like if you have the opportunity, you have to go for it. A cabin guy, a boat guy is actually a really big type of guy in Vancouver, especially. Is like boat guy who has never seen that episode of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. You know what I mean? You know the episode? Like because of the implication. Because it's like, I'm not going on your boat as a first date. Like, sorry, I'm not going on the boat. You have ear shift people feel your country. Yeah, I'm in Vancouver. That's Field Central. that's quite the Fields sort of city. It sounds like the women are in danger. Yeah, it's like I'm not going on the boat. I'm sorry. I don't. That feels on it like it's like slightly less consensual sex when it's on a boat. I think it is that bit sums it up perfect. Where it's like I don't have any like we're in the ocean. I don't. There's no. Field is a poly/kink app, dating app, but it's basically just kind of Tinder. It's just less. People are so annoying about me being poly. Because like it's such a pain in the ass to swipe on someone and be like, oh, maybe they're nice. Oh, they have a partner, so you have to be like rude about it. It's where Julian made the. It's funny that it is spelled literally like Julian Field. Who in Finland? Oh yeah, that's gonna be tough for that one. It's literally. I was joking that it was like his aristocratic Italian family or whatever. I don't think they're aristocrats. I don't know, but it's funnier to imagine it as such. Like Italian Swiss family. Like the family fortune is in poly kink apps. It's just a very funny idea. Total boat abstinence, except with the confines of a committed monogamous relationship. I mean, look, it's nice to date a guy who has a boat. It's just you go on the. Is FetLife still alive? The only time I've been on FetLife is to research pervert podcast stuff, and it sounds like a terrifying website. So I don't. That feels too much like going to the like Craigslist to meet people. Like the second it's not a dating app and it's like a website, it's like I don't. It's like no, I have a dating app and it's not like Grindr. It's not like Grindr. That's fine. If you can do that, if you can say that with good conscience that it's true, then that's fine. Boat guy song kids. Do you think that's bad? You think boat guy without kids is bad? Maybe that is bad. I don't know. It's nice. I feel like, I guess so. You don't think about how nice it is to get to be on a boat. You don't think about that when you think about how nice it is to get to be on a boat, I guess. But that probably tracks. I guess that is like, what is the most fascist group of people? It's like Floridians with boats. It's specifically boats. Recommend Lex? I think that was YouTube chat. I don't the thing with Lex is that there's no photos. I don't know if I would ever meet up with someone without seeing a photo of them. And not even like because I'm going to get abducted. It's just like, what if it's not the move? You know what I mean? I can't say that I'm in a I'll take anyone sort of mood. Like I'm in that sort of position. I'm sorry. Is there photos now? Okay. I guess that's better. Cause yeah, I feel like you need like you need to see what a person looks like before you're. I understand that the basic worst case scenario is just that you're. Yeah, what if they're ugly? I didn't want to say it, but that is the. I guess that is the very obvious thing that I'm saying. um, yeah, I mean, then you have to go on a date with someone that you're not interested in, and waste 2 hours of your life. It's really the worst thing that you could think of. It's the worst thing that I, as a millennial, can think of. What if they're way too... Well, you can convey age through text. Surely you're not, like... You can't convey what someone looks like through text. So you can... Surely you would ask, like, okay, how old are you? It's no longer looking for a guy who's a boat. It's looking for a guy who's a place in Whistler. Which I feel like is a shot in the dark. But, if I find it, it's a big win for me. I'm dating exclusively to get first chair at Whistler right now.